Hi, I'm Greg Gutfeld, and I smell like a bus. Here's what's coming up. The RNC, the DNC, HRCs, BP, and Run DMC. We'll touch them all, or at least 3 out of 4, who knows. Plus a behind-the-scenes look at my time in Cleveland. That's in Ohio. And all the little people that helped make it happen. Later, former major leaguer Lenny Dykstra is here with some crazy stories from his new book that you won't want to miss. Let's get started, America. I'm heading to Philly on a unicycle. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's got more charm than a bracelet from Tiffany's. You know him as Face Man from the A-Team, the legend himself, Dirk Benedict. Yeah! Like a plate of rigatoni, she's always sauced. Our lovable lush, Joanne Nosuchinsky. He's so sharp, he gives paper Rick Grenell cuts. He's Rick Grenell, former advisor to 4 U.S. ambassadors, Fox News contributor. She's so bright that the North Star calls her for advice. Eboni Williams, political, legal analyst, Fox News contributor. And finally, she's our high priestess of gloom, National Review reporter Katherine Timpf. But first, all right, the Republican convention had everything. You had the air kisses, you had the gold podiums, you had the pro wrestling entrance. All that was missing was a cape made of kittens. Also, I love those headset microphone things. I know they're at every convention, but they're awesome. I stole Shep Smith's. It's for my shrine. There were also respected Republican leaders firing up the base with a strong rallying cry.
What happened to there's no black America, there's no white America, there is just America? What happened to it? Where did it go?
It'd be great if people thought he was doing sign language. But anyway, as he spoke, my goosebumps got goosebumps. And those goosebumps, they were crying. Why couldn't we elect him instead? Yeah, you can applaud. Rudy! By the way, just a note to convention workers, don't make Rudy wait for the balloons. The convention had drama, or as the networks like to call it, chaos.
Tonight, Republican civil war. The GOP convention erupts into chaos.
Chaos a few minutes ago.
Chaos on day 1 of the Republican National Convention.
Anti-Trump forces lose on the convention floor.
The convention floor erupted. The convention chair left the stage amid the chaos.
Whatever. After months of hand-wringing and mudslinging, it was uncertain whether Republicans would rally around its nominee, Donald J. Trump, especially after the support the convention gave Trump's key opponent. Who could forget the rousing cheers of Cruz?
Vote your conscience. Vote for candidates up and down the ticket who you trust to defend our freedom. I appreciate the enthusiasm of the New York delegation.
Clearly, they were cruising him. Cruz. Now, but it also sounded a bit like unity. In not endorsing Trump, Ted Cruz may have accidentally unified the party for Trump. And when got some Trumpies. And when Donald finally took the stage on Thursday, there seemed to be little dissent.
These are people who work hard, but no longer have a voice. I am your voice.
There you go. Now, President Obama claims that Trump's doom and gloom doesn't match reality.
This idea that America is somehow on the verge of collapse, this vision of violence and chaos everywhere, doesn't really jibe with the experience of most people.
Yeah. Anyway, but He makes one point. Trump's vision is about as uplifting as a CAT scan of my liver. But who is Obama to talk? Wasn't he the guy who 8 years ago said our country was so bad off, only he could transform it? Trump just stole Obama's stick. He's starring in a manic reboot of Hope and Change. And the tagline for that movie, America's got hemorrhoids and Donald's the preparation H. Rick, I ran into you a couple times when we were out there. I had a few drinks. I don't remember much. I woke up dazed, and I didn't have my shirt. Can I have it back? Give me your overall...
I actually am surprised that the mainstream media is surprised that the party out of power is critiquing the party that's in power.
Yeah.
That seems to me a really basic thing. When you don't have the White House, you critique the policies of the last 4 or 8 years. That's all that Trump was doing. It was celebrated in 2008.
Right.
As you point out.
Thank you.
So I was pretty excited to see our delegation from California. 2/3 of our delegation had never been to a convention before.
Well, not that kind of convention.
Well, yeah. But the excitement that they had, I mean, they were literally climbing on their chairs to scream. They were told, you know, when someone's speaking, you're not supposed to scream and interrupt them, and they don't listen to those rules.
Right.
They are there, they're excited, and this is grassroots politics at its best. Yes, for the media who want a staged convention, they want to control it, they want the status quo, they want politicians speaking. It was a disappointment for them.
Right.
But for the grassroots delegates, they had a great time, they loved it, and they are just getting fired up.
What about you, Dirk? General thoughts? You want to talk about Cruz? Anything you want?
I agree with what he said.
Okay, good enough.
No, could I be shallow for a moment?
Yes, please.
I know. That's usually your job.
Yes.
No, they say, some witty-wag said once that politics is showbiz for the ugly.
Right.
Not anymore.
That's true.
But Trump's, please.
Yeah.
Ivanka and what is it, Tiffany and Melania.
Yeah.
And Trump
the boys,
and Donald.
And Donald. Every girl I know, I met, I talked, they go, oh my God, they're so.
It's the show.
That's refreshing.
They've introduced glamour. Well, they
did.
Yeah.
But
and I just want to say one for me, the whole thing is about children. I spent the last 20 years of my life raising 2 boys.
Yeah.
So I always say, if you want to know something about people, just check out their children. See how their children turn out.
I was told never to check out people's children.
What? You don't know where your children are.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
No, go ahead. Well,
no, I was just saying I don't check out their children.
Oh, yeah. No, so but look how they look.
Dirk.
I tried to get serious.
I know.
I know you.
Yeah.
that's what happens on this show sometimes.
I know. Yeah.
Yes.
But going off of the point about beautiful people, Greg, you and I both know that we have it hard.
I know.
Because I think that there's a lot more criticism. I think, especially with Melania Trump's speech, so she repeated some common platitudes.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like there was much kind of substance in them back in 2008 or now.
Yeah.
But she's beautiful, and people love to criticize beautiful people. And
Not Jackie O. Not Jackie O. But I remember the Kennedys. The Kennedys were the last beautiful, and Jackie O. You couldn't criticize her. How about
love
Lady
to
Diana?
criticize people in general. I know, I do, but like if you look at with Ted Cruz, everyone hated what he did, but everybody, when Bernie endorsed Hillary, was like, wow, you're so spineless, and then Cruz did that, and everyone's like, wow, you're so selfish. So it just reinforces my life philosophy of don't worry about it. No matter what you do, you're always wrong.
Okay, so I'm actually writing a book on this topic, right? This topic of what you look like. Pretty powerful. Yes. How your appearance affects your ascent to power. And I think the Trump family, in this infusion of kind of celebrity into American politics, is a shining example of how we're not getting away from this. We're leaning into this.
So I should do my makeup on my days off, is what you're telling me.
That's exactly right, because you never know who you're going to meet, Kat. You never know.
I'm normally not meeting anybody.
Could be your next boss. Just saying.
I reject that.
Do you?
All that pretty politics stuff. I really do.
About Yeah, well, I don't think it has anything to do with Trump. I don't think people thought Trump was handsome.
No, it's not
I mean,
about that.
either for or against him.
But it's to Joe's point.
Meet his children.
But to Joe's point, there's something
my
to
point
be
is
said.
the character of the kids and what they said.
Right. And you know what?
How they turned out.
Absolutely, that's right. And we pay attention to them first, though. Melania enters the stage, she's stunning. So, of course, people are going to want to
I don't know, when I wear my
immediately
penguin pajama
listen.
pants to the store, people pay attention to me, too.
Yeah, and now what you say when you get the attention, that's up to you. But I certainly think there's an opportunity present when you present a certain way.
My favorite Trump kid, Tiffany. Right? That's her name, right?
Well, she's the one that can. She's
Your favorite Beatles, Ringo, too, right?
What?
Your favorite Beatles, Ringo, also.
Yeah, exactly. She's the fifth Beatle.
Trying to be
She's the keyboardist of the band.
Mine's Barry. I think Barry's the one that's going to be the.
Barron looks great. Barron looks like mini Trump. Yeah, mini Trump.
Tiffany's really young.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's right out of school.
And very polished.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you would have given me a speech at the national convention at that age, I would have been a blubbering idiot.
Yeah.
She was polished.
By the way, I have to, even though Melania, she didn't know she lifted those.
Melania is how long you've been doing this show.
Thank you, Dirk. Anyway, my point is that if I had gone to Slovenia to do a speech in a native tongue, which is
Slovakian,
I don't know, I would have fallen apart too. I would have fallen apart. And I was looking at her. And I'm thinking about my wife, who's Russian. She speaks multiple languages. I mean, to go up there in front of 40 million people, and when you don't want to do it, she didn't want to do it, and she did it. And she did a great job. And then afterwards, this gets one pair. Well, it is.
Who copyrighted those? Like, those are brilliant statements, original.
But it is plagiarism.
Oh, my word is my bond.
But it is plagiarism.
My word is well, I mean,
literally, that's what plagiarism means.
Yeah, that's if you take exactly.
But here's an idea, though, Greg. How about don't make Melania do something she doesn't want to do? Here's the freedom. When you're the presumptive nominee, I think you get a little say-so in how, then you get a little say-so in how this thing works. And I think Trump has the freedom, or should have demonstrated the freedom to do it how he wanted to do it. Let Ivanka open thing.
She bought a dress she wanted to wear, nice, really.
Well, and it was stunning, and it was stunning, and it
Right,
sold out
Joanne?
in an
I mean,
hour.
you know.
I thought the whole convention was great. But I had to watch CNN because Fox had talking heads on all the time.
We're going to edit this out.
Of some of you, but I wanted to hear the speeches like Tom Barrack.
Yeah.
Did you hear Tom Barrack talk? His 40-year-old friend for 40 years who he's been in business with. It was fantastic. And it was off the cuff, extemporaneous. So I watched that, and I watched. So I got to hear all the speeches. But the
You know where you are,
that's stuff. I just want to say, is Van Jones and Axelrod. Van Jones was like speechless that the Republicans didn't boo Trump for mentioning the LGBTQ thing. And they were stunned. They were speechless. They talked endlessly. And they didn't boo. They didn't boo.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Well,
That's dumb.
First of all,
Really,
I was on the.
like the view that people have of what a Republican is insane.
Their commentary
it's
so
insane.
revealing.
I will say I was on the floor when Peter Thiel spoke. And
What were you doing?
I was a delegate.
This is going too fast. Wait a minute. I missed something.
I was a delegate. I was on the floor of the convention. And the California delegation moved all of the 4 LGBT delegates to the front row.
Right.
And we watched as Peter gave his speech. And
is it Thiel or Teal?
Teal.
Got it.
And I will tell you unequivocally that the entire floor clapped loudly. And then when Trump came back off the cuff and said, I just want to say I'm thankful that you just clapped for that line, they gave him a standing ovation.
Yeah.
I didn't hear one boo.
Yeah.
But then Axelrod or somebody said, they said, oh, it's only one guy.
It's only one guy. Yeah, it's only one guy.
Just the one guy. It's just one guy.
The Democrats have been the king of identity politics.
Yeah.
And so they can't
hate
start,
it.
Yeah.
Oh, they hate when you get into their...
Yeah, that's their turf.
Oh, man.
That's their
You speak
turf.
Spanish, and all of the Hispanics are just going to vote for you. That's
Well, we
that's
got
the meme right now.
Citizen Kaine.
We're going to talk
Citizen Tim Kaine.
We're going to do that.
Citizen Kaine and Comrade Clinton.
We're going to do that in the next block. I like that. He's already doing my tease.
I'm doing it.
This guy.
I'll have your desk. I want your desk.
I want your van.
I drove it. You know, it's parked outside at 1211. It's right on 6th Avenue.
I know it. There's a lot of. I hear some screaming inside.
Well, Mr.
There's like 6 people there going. He told me he was a star. He told me he was a star.
I'll teach him.
That's where you keep your face.
That's right. All my secrets are in that van.
All right, I gotta take a break. All right, coming up, we actually reenact my favorite A-Team episode, Bad Time on the Border. Yes. Oh, Rick is going to play George Peppard. Yeah. All right, but first, Hillary picks a VP, which I believe stands for violin player, plus new DNC emails leaked just before the convention. The DNC starts Monday in Philadelphia. The stage is now being set at Wells Fargo Center, where I do all my banking, and where Hillary Clinton will accept her party's nomination. Thought that joke was funnier earlier. Clinton and Virginia Senator Tim Kaine making their first appearance as the Democratic ticket today in Miami. The presumptive nominee announced her choice of Kaine as her VP running mate in a text message to supporters. I guess she's keeping off the email for a while. Kaine. I'll take it. Kaine has been viewed as too moderate by some liberals in the Democratic Party, but really he's the airbrushed yin to Hillary's abrasive yang. He's a man so safe you could store money in him, but it beats her other choice. Meantime, Sanders supporters are pissed off after leaked DNC emails show top party officials wanted to push a narrative that he was an atheist in states like Kentucky and West Virginia, where the godless are as popular as a clarinet made of raw sewage. An alto clarinet. So, remember when Bernie said he didn't care about Hillary's damn emails? I wonder if he cares about these now. Finger on chin. All right. Yeah, it is a good point. All right, Kat, you're looking like you have something to say about something.
I do always. Yeah, these Bernie supporters, this is what they wanted, right? They knew this the whole time, and this is going to hurt her even more because he has been too nice to her this whole time. That's what everybody thinks. And now that they have this proof, it's not like they see her as a second choice. They see her as the problem. Right. Their hearts were broken, and it's because of her. So it's not just like, oh, well, I'm better than Trump. I guess we'll vote for the second choice. It's like, no, voting for her is voting for what just destroyed my life and broke my little jobless heart. You know what I mean?
No. Agreed. I think many people knew that the DNC had it in for poor Bernie from day one. I mean, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, she might as well have been the VP pick, to be honest. I mean, that's how deep in to the Clinton camp she was. And I think it's unfortunate for, you know, no matter what you think of the Democratic Party, there are people that should have a process that allows their voice to be heard. They never stood a chance around that, and that's sad, and the DNC should be ashamed.
I find voices very annoying. I don't like it being heard. All right, Dirk, what's your take on the VP pick?
I didn't know who he was, so, you know, and I still don't. But I am going to call him Citizen Kaine. I heard some of his little speech just a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and...
you know, I think it's really risky for the Democrats to pick Kaine because he's a lifelong politician in a year where politicians are absolutely not popular.
Yeah. Secretary of Status Quo, and she just got another guy that Liz. He was mayor. He's proud of the fact
proud of it
his whole life. Yeah. He was a mayor, and then he was a son, and then he was a governor. And forever. He's only just.
I've tried to read up on him, and I fell asleep during it. I'm worried.
I know.
I'm worried that I won't even be able to fill this segment with stuff about him.
She was going to do this the whole time. Like people saying she was going to pick Elizabeth Warren. She used Elizabeth Warren. She wanted you to think that maybe she would pick her because she needs that anti-capitalist, anti-Wall Street, and even having pundits talking about, oh, maybe, makes her look more like she would potentially be interested in something she'd never be interested in.
I actually think she looks like a hater now, though, Kat, right? Because to me, the people, the real progressives in the party, whether it's Bernie, whether it's Elizabeth, some people even like Cory Booker.
That's what I'm saying. I think she used Elizabeth Warren.
Right, but she looks like a hater with this pick because it's like you said, all the speculation kind of got her some hype, but ultimately, when it came down to it, she goes with
never going to
Bernie. She went with the dude. You know what? What happened to girl power, Joanne? What happened to girl power? This was supposed to be the year of the woman, and she picked a white male. She picked a white male. Boo, white male.
Girl,
in the white males.
Barabbas.
Barabbas. I don't know what that means.
It's a biblical joke.
And the white male stopped speaking, so I can get a word in. as a woman, I love the zodiac, not the killer. And Kaine is a Pisces.
Yeah.
And so Pisces, there you go, are excellent problem solvers. Sometimes a little over emotional, but you know, it's a shame that we'll never really get to see any of that because Hillary won't actually let him do anything.
We have a.
She's the perfect man for Hillary, you know. After putting up with Bill for 50 years. Yeah, she's got one now. She can manage, but she controlled Bill. She was more the pants. She was the yang, and
the
that,
pantsuit.
He was the yin. He was the yin, and that you say yang, I say yang. But that's why we're.
That's why we're so close.
I'm gonna say yang from now on.
But you know, she was the aggressive, dominant one in that relationship.
Yeah, he was the fun one. She was the serious one. Yeah. But you need that in a relationship, I've found.
Yeah.
Online.
Which one are you, Greg? Which one are you?
It depends what app
Depends
I'm
on what
using.
night of the week.
And who I'm pretending to be.
He's the fun one.
I think, do we have a sound on tape for the general audience of Hillary saying something?
I have to say that Senator Tim Kaine is everything Donald Trump and Mike Pence are not. He is qualified to step into this job and lead on day one.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Everyone talks about being qualified. This disqualifies you. She's not qualified. He's not qualified. Okay, I'm not qualified. Let's just get that straight.
Yes, you are.
You are.
I'd vote for you.
I'm way too young, guys.
No, that's not true. I reject that narrative.
You're either too young or too old.
Either
too young.
I don't even know what you're referring to at this point, Dirk.
Everything.
Getting into the van, perhaps?
No.
All right.
Well, my whole career is either too young or too old. Oh, he's too young. He's too young. He's too young. No, he's too old. He's too old. He's too old. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, but in the middle,
between.
you were Battlestar Galactica.
For 15 seconds, I was just right age.
Yeah, you did. And by the way,
so quick.
It was during a pretty fun time in Hollywood. We won't get into it
we
here.
should do a show about that.
No.
Well, we can't. No.
Politics is more. Okay, do you think Bernie is going to pull a Ted Cruz and like get up there and because now he found out about these emails about they were going to destroy his career?
Well, he won't, and that's what's wrong with him.
Right.
Yeah, he needs to. He's too nice.
He should.
Yeah, he won't.
There's some views that the Rules Committee, at least for the Democratic convention, it's going to get nasty. They're going to try to do something, but he doesn't even have near enough delegates, and I think that Debbie Wasserman Schultz will shut him down.
Shut him down. They're going to bring him to his knees, and that's not.
But you know, last night I had dinner with a Hollywood acquaintance who's quite famous in her own right. I can't say.
It's because
of what I'm going to say. But I sat and she's a big Hillary, and this woman is smart. She's smart.
What movie was she in? Tell me.
I can't. No.
Come on, just give me a hint. Tell me what she said.
How much you pay me later? Buy me drinks and get me drunk and maybe.
He will.
We need a bar.
No, but anyway, the point of it was she loves Hillary, which is mind-boggling to me. I went down the list of all the lies. She doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So none of this stuff
none of it matters. Yeah, but once you pick a team,
she goes, well, it doesn't anything. And then she said Trump's a sleaze. He's a liar. He did it. And I said, well, name one. Name this. Name one. She doesn't. It doesn't matter. And these are not the millennials.
It was Gwyneth Paltrow. Are you dating Gwyneth Paltrow?
All of them.
Goldie Hawn.
Are you dating all of them?
Oh, I had such a thing for Goldie, but
who didn't?
Kurt Russell will kill you.
Who
Trust
doesn't?
me.
I couldn't get close to her. I was not in the same.
She still looks good.
Business. She was.
Yeah, she at that point. You were.
I was always a hick.
Yeah. You still are, but you're a lovable hick.
Shoes now, but I was.
Yeah, we got to move on now because now we're talking about your shoes. Coming up, more stories about things and junk. Celebrity convention speakers. Do they influence your vote? Plus, Joanne visits the strange land known as Philadelphia. That's next. So the thing I'll remember most about the RNC, 3 amazingly awesome words. Antonio Sabato Jr. Sure, his speech was adequate. But for me, I was just pumped at the chance to see the gorgeous actor who rose to fame as a Calvin Klein underwear model before roles on Melrose Place, The Bold and the Beautiful, and General Hospital. And who can forget General Hospital Night Shift? I sure haven't. Sabato. Feels good just saying it. Try it at home. Not to be confused with Larry Sabato. Although the resemblance are uncanny. Meanwhile, the DNC begins in Philly on Monday, but the list of celebrity speakers doesn't thrill me. There's Lena Dunham, Tony Goldwyn, Chloe Grace Moretz, just 3 names, America Ferrara, Take Back America, or wait, is it Wake Up America? I don't know what it is. And the robot from Lost in Space. I'm not making any sense. All right, maybe I'm a little excited about the last one. I want to go to you, Joanne. Should I be excited about this upcoming thing? Are you going there? What's going on?
Well, Greg, you don't even have to go to Philly anymore. Oh, really? I saved you the trip because I went to Philly and I saw everything you need to see. Take a look.
Oh, wow.
Philadelphia, the birthplace of independence, and we're just days away from the Democratic National Convention. As you can see, people are bustling with excitement. The energy is palpable. So are you from Philly?
No, I'm Virginia.
Okay, can we cut the camera? We're gonna do that again. I need you to say you are from Philly, okay? Great. Roll. Hi, are you from Philly?
Yes.
Great. Do you have a favorite founding father?
Frank Jennings.
Philadelphia is great, but who is this crazy woman sitting next to me? P.S. I love Greg Gutfeld.
Yeah, Greg's really short. So is there anywhere like really cool or iconic in Philly that I should go?
Oh, definitely. You got to go to the Art Museum to the Rocky Steps and do the Rocky statue.
We are right by the Rocky Steps. They don't look rocky to me, though. They look pretty flat. Have you seen Rocky?
I have.
Have you seen Rocky 2?
Yes.
Have you seen Rocky 3?
I think.
Creed?
Creed, yeah.
Okay, so you wasted 8 months of your life. What if I were to ask you, instead of running up the stairs, because you know everybody does that, would you dance up the stairs with me?
Dance?
Do you think racing up the stairs, who would win, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump?
Without question, Donald Trump
Okay.
would win that race.
Yeah, it was actually a trick question, because Hillary would cheat. She would fly up to the top on her broom. I did it! Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've worked up quite an appetite. I think it's time for some classic Philadelphia cheesecake. Steak. Cheese steak. Well, I'm here between Pat's and Gino's. How do I choose? Well, I once dated a guy named Pat. Didn't end well. Gino's it is.
Well, you can turn the camera off now. No one needs to see what's about to happen.
Now, do you think you'd rather serve a politician a cheesesteak or like a drunk college kid?
Drunk college kid any day here.
Why is that?
You're more honest.
If Hillary Clinton were to be a cheesesteak, what kind of cheesesteak would she be?
A tough one. She'd be tough meat. One we don't sell.
Very exciting, Greg. I have exclusive backstage access to the DNC, and by backstage, I mean way back. I'm in the parking lot. As you can see, not a lot is going on. Typical Dems, all hype, no delivery. Good news, Greg. Tailgating. You're going to have a lot of space for it. Or just don't even come. Kind of a letdown.
All right. Well done. Well done. I just want to get some... Eboni, I'm going to go to you. You're the Democrat. Are you looking forward?
I'm not a Democrat.
What are you?
I'm a registered independent.
Oh, I keep
I've
forgetting.
been one for like 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
You looking forward to the convention?
Well, I'm going. I'm looking forward to seeing democracy at play. I'm looking forward to people's voices hopefully being heard. Not particularly looking forward to Hillary's speech. But that's me. That's me.
What about you, Kat?
I'm not going. I'm looking forward to watching Hillary's speech on the couch and tweeting it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's all you usually do.
Thank you for reminding me. Thank you.
Yeah. Rick, thoughts?
I'm going to the Democratic Convention, and I want to see the diverse party, see if they can have a pro-life speaker at the convention and be diverse.
There you go.
Don't the test. Don't hold your breath. I told you not to. Dirk?
What? Oh, I'm not. No, I'm not even. I can't watch it. My blood pressure goes up so high when I watch these people. It's not true. It's just it defies common sense. The left defies common sense. You know.
Yeah.
Those are Voltaire's bastards. And all I have is I'm not a smart guy, but I have a lot of common sense. So you know, these are Voltaire's bastard children. All these liberal elites. Yeah, they've turned the age of reason into its opposite. It's dogma. It's all this global, global warming, it's all dogma that they just feed them in the first grade through grade 18, and they come out like the little liberals they are, and they all think the same, say the same. I can't watch it.
Can't argue with that.
Oh, you could.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
can.
Yeah, you can. I think it's important, no matter the level of, that we might disagree. I think that we don't do ourselves tremendous service when we don't engage. That's that's just my take. I think, again, if we're all talking about we're not red states or blue states or blacks and whites and gays and straights, we gotta have some kind of chorus, and it can be contentious, and we
do.
can
It's
disagree.
the Constitution. It's America.
Exactly, and we all got to participate in that, right? Right.
Dude, that's our common.
I know.
Yeah.
But the
Constitution! See, that's yeah, I did a good job.
We're the only show where people cheer the Constitution.
It's a good thing. It's a very good thing.
Now they're cheering USA. Going crazy over here. Still ahead, I walk amongst the little people at the RNC. My behind-the-scenes tour is next. Stick around.
If you'll be in the New York area and would like to be part of our studio audience, email Greg Tix at foxnews.com.
All right. I survived the Republican National Convention, barely, but I learned a lot from everyone there. Here's a humble look back at my time in Cleveland in a segment I'm calling
Greg's Little People.
It's time to go look at the little people, or as I like to call Greg's little people. So I'm going to spend the next few minutes interviewing people who are less important than I am. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over very slow because producers love to do the speed walking thing, and I hate that. So let's go interview some people. What do you do here?
I am an on-air talent.
You must work at a different hour. I don't see you very often.
I do. I work in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Are you a nighttime person?
Yes, well, I'm all over the place. I'm a very busy guy, kind of important. I didn't see any of the speeches because the flat screen above my hot tub only gets German art films.
You have a hot tub.
I have a, well, there's an S at the end of that. I have a number of hot tubs.
Are you sure they cleaned them before you got there?
I told them not to. I'm now standing next to my favorite bear, Brett Bear. What is the most exciting moment for you so far? Besides meeting me?
Well, yeah, you watching the 5, the whole bus thing.
Yeah,
fantastic.
The bus has been great. It's more like the 1 than the 5, but I can see where you might enjoy the other 4 people. I'm a shallow, sad person who I weep quietly sometimes in my hotel room.
This is one of the best segments
you will ever have.
Yeah.
I know we finish our own sentences, don't we?
Yes.
We
do.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I love.
Bye.
Bye. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you. What are you doing here?
I'm roving.
Roving, are you?
I'm looking for a hot Carl.
$5 because that I own the word.
All right, well, I'm going to leave you alone since you turned your back on me. That wasn't rude at all.
Are you really filming?
No, these aren't, what are you talking about? There's nobody there. This is a hologram.
Speaking of holograms.
Yes.
Stop trying to strike up a conversation with the hologram lady in the hallway. Her eyes follow everybody.
I know, it's kind of creepy. She's like one of those paintings in horror movies. All right, Carl. I love you and I hate you. I see you a lot on Fox. I find you to be very informative.
Thank you.
And also, I happen to believe that you have the best goatee.
Oh, really? Good. Better than Jonah?
Yeah.
Say that to all the guys?
Yeah, I do. Yours doesn't burn as much. I've been using the gym. I do a lot of body resistance training. I find a partner, usually a stranger in a park, and I use them and I press against them. You think that's it's helpful?
I mean, whatever. It looks like it's working for you.
What's your high point so far?
Seeing the 5 bus obeying traffic laws in downtown Cleveland. We tried to wave at you guys, but y'all didn't wave.
I have a practice of ignoring people, especially people from Fox, because I feel that as a star anchor, I don't like to really mix with people. You know how it is.
I do. I mean, you and our offices are on the same floor. We have to wait for you to get off the elevator first.
Absolutely. I don't even. And when I see you coming, I usually just dart into the bathroom.
And you always get the last Diet Coke in the Coke machine.
And then if I don't use it, I shake it so the next person gets it in the face.
You?
Yes. I have a hotel room. It's quite large. You know, if you just need to relax.
Unsubscribe from future updates.
I have a huge bathtub, and I don't think it's just for me. Love you, as always.
Mean it.
Greg, as usual, we learned nothing from that segment.
I tried to create as little information in every one of my segments. All I did was I'll just walk around and make a fool out of myself, and I did. All right, coming up, my chat with one of Philly's all-time favorite Phillies, Lenny Dykstra. There he is. Look at that wheel. That's the wheel of Lenny. Don't go away. My next guest played 12 seasons of Major League Baseball, became stinking rich, lost it all, and eventually spent 2.5 years in prison. Now Lenny Dykstra is sharing the story of his incredible rise and fall in an amazingly honest, scary new book. It's called House of Nails, a memoir of life on the edge, the construction, the demolition, the resurrection. Now, according to the publisher, it's full of dirt and wild stories, drinking, drugs, the works. So this gave me an idea. Here's how it works. I spin the wheel wherever it lands. Lenny shares a story about that topic. How's that feel, Lenny? You ready?
I'm always ready.
I know, I can tell. You're quite ready. All right, here we go. There's some amazing stories in this book. Let's spin it. Blackmail. This story blows my mind. Blackmail. Tell that story.
Wasn't blackmail. It was getting an edge with the umpires.
Right. Because didn't you hire a private investigator to find out about like gambling and cheating? And so if you found out an umpire was cheating on his wife.
Well, I didn't hire one. I had an army of them. No, I mean, but because it's not about cheating on the wife. It's the same thing as a catcher brown-nosing the umpire all night. Yeah. Working the umpire, working and working. I just went to the next level, because, you know, I got tired of trying to be nice to these guys.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I ended up getting fights with catchers because they're working the umpire. So, you know, it's not a coincidence that I led the league in walks after that. I mean, I think maybe.
You should have thanked your private investigator after every hit. Where will it go? Where will it go? It'll go to what I care about most, drugs. Steroids. What are your thoughts on steroids? Did you do steroids?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, yeah, but then what happens is you hit 325, and then you lead the league in hits, and you make the all-star team, and then you get paid $30 million.
Right.
Opposed to if you don't take them, you get fired. You have to get a real job.
Yeah.
You make $60,000, and you're miserable. So. No, I'm saying that because the guy next to you's taking them.
Yes, so you got to take him to compete.
So what are you going to do? Say, you know what? I'm going to be a good guy, man. Like, I don't, and really, like, you're cheating your family there.
Yeah, but you know, it's an interesting point. It's like, it's like everybody drinks coffee in the office to be awake and to be energized. In a weird way, steroids is athlete coffee.
Well, actually, we have amphetamines for that.
Yeah, that's
and then which, by the way, I mean, which is where I have a real problem with the Hall of Fame.
Right.
I mean, the Hall of Fame, like the 3 best players in baseball aren't in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, and Pete Rose.
Mm-hmm. You know that's funny? I went to high school with Barry Bonds. He used to sit behind me and cheat off me in Spanish class.
Really?
Yeah, so he was always cheating.
Wow.
I was his steroid.
Wow.
All right.
So you were real smart, weren't you?
Yeah, no, I was an egghead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to sit behind me in sophomore Spanish and kick my chair until I moved. I used to have to move the test over so he could look at it. But he was really skinny.
Yeah, he was.
He was very skinny, and his head was still normal size.
I know, right. Was he kind of a too then?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he was. He's once always.
Well, I mean, like, he was the best player in the game. I get that, but so that's why I couldn't take our pitchers pitching around. I said, just drill him in the neck, get it over with, you know? Yeah.
Lenny, I bet this book is going to go great. The reason why you should go out and get this book is that it's actually a real autobiography. He wrote it without any kind of governance. Nobody told you what to say or what not to say. You can get it anywhere. Go to Amazon. It's called Lenny Dykstra, a memoir of life on the edge. House of Nails. Hey, we're almost out of time, so...
What you've wanted to say all show, but haven't had the chance to say, so here's your chance to say it. Right now.
Dirk,
I've never had a chance to say this. I'm going to say it. It's 45 years ago. I came to New York with $500 in a suitcase, and in 2 years, I was above the title on Broadway, Booth Theater, 45th and Broadway. And New York has been great to me my whole life. I haven't lived here for 30 years. Never should have left. But I've always loved New York. And, you know, I'm from a little tiny town in Montana, so it's a bit of a paradox. So I get to say, thank you, New York.
Thank you, Greg. For those of us who weren't at the convention, so much fun watching your coverage. The bus stuff, it's been blowing my Instagram up. It's been great. And I love Ivanka Trump. That's it.
Grenell.
I do too. I think she's great.
I find it very troubling that Hillary Clinton is going to be nominated as the Democrat for president in a building that is named after a Wall Street bank.
Nicely done. Joe.
Yeah, I would like to thank the nice people of Philly that I saw when I did that package. So many people. We had a flag on the mic that said Greg Gutfeld Show, and everyone kept asking me, where's Greg?
Yeah.
Where's Greg? And didn't give a crap about me, which made me feel awful. But they love you in Philly.
Yes. Last word to you, Tim.
There's never a wrong time to have just one single beer. Always okay.
Thanks to Dirk Benedict, Joanne, Rick Grenell, Eboni, Katherine, Lenny Dykstra, our studio audience. I'm Greg Gutfeld, and I love you, America.